Have you ever pictured the ideal version of the woman that you want to become? Maybe she's a little bit more confident, maybe she's more disciplined, she's more successful. She keeps her promises to herself. She takes care of her body, her mind, her spirit. She doesn't spend all this time doubting herself. She goes for what she wants. I know I've pictured her. I think about her all the time, every single day actually. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite there yet. If I was there, then I wouldn't be making this video. But I think we've all thought about this ideal woman, right? That we want to become. So let me ask you this. Why aren't you her? What are the exact things in your life that are literally stopping you from becoming this woman? Not a lot of people talk about the sacrifice and commitment that it takes on a daily basis to become that woman. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Pia, and today we're going to be talking about the uncomfortable truths of becoming the woman of your dreams. So grab a little drink, grab a little snack, take some notes, do what you gotta do, get comfortable. Let's dive in. So just like the last video, I'm gonna break down these topics into different chapters. Chapter 1, I know it sounds cliche, I know you've heard it a million times before, but there's a reason for that, okay? No one is coming to save you. I know, maybe it's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear, okay? As women, we have a very strong sense of intuition, and oftentimes when it comes to people or certain things in our lives, we know deep down. We feel it in our gut, we feel it in our soul. And sometimes our brain tries to like fight that a little bit, but when your soul is telling you something, it becomes very hard to ignore. When I say save you, I want to talk about the idea that a lot of women are talking. Okay, how do I approach this? Let's just say I see a lot of content coming from women talking about how you need a man to pay all your bills, you need a man to pay for everything for you, provide for you, and do all the things for you. And while I don't completely disagree that a man should provide, I think there's a caveat there, right? Because, all right, sure, let's say you find this man, oh, and he's paying all your bills, and he buys you all the things, he bought you a car, and he's tricking you out, like, and then he cheats on you. Oh, now what? You're gonna stay with him? Oh, but he's paying all your bills though, right? What do you have lined up? You don't have any savings, you don't have anything, you don't have a backup plan. Your plan was the man, and now he's over here doing who knows what with who knows who, and you're completely dependent on him? I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that. I'm not saying as a woman that you should, pay for everything on your own or go 50-50. I don't believe in that, especially if you're like married to a man. I believe he should be providing in that way. But I'm just saying that you don't want to put all your eggs in a basket. You want to have a plan for yourself. So should this, God forbid, should this relationship not work out, you don't want to be completely dependent on him. You're cooked. You're cooked if something happens. You need to have a plan of your own. You need to have your own money. You need to have your own savings. You need to have your own life outside of that, because I don't like the idea of fully depending on a man. That makes me very uncomfortable, to be honest. Again, I do fully believe that men should be providers. Like, I'm not a 50-50 kind of girl, but I also believe in having my own assets that are not fully dependent on so-and-so, So like, I feel like the moment that you stop waiting for like one person to save you, right? I feel like that's when everything changes. You start realizing that your life isn't dependent on one massive decision. It's dependent on tiny little choices that you make every single day. Think about like a plane. Let's say it's going from, I don't know, Atlanta to Miami. I'm going to Miami next week. Let's say it's going from Atlanta to Miami, right? And if the pilot were to change the direction of the plane by just 1 degree like that, literally, boop, that's it. You wouldn't notice it, right? Over a span of hundreds of miles, that tiny little shift completely changes the trajectory of where the plane is gonna end up. And I feel like our lives kind of work in a similar way, where every choice that you make is a vote for the type of woman that you wanna be. If you wanna be a healthy woman and you made the choice to, I don't know, get some Chick-fil-A today, there's ways to go about it. Chick-fil-A has healthy options, right? But my point is, I feel like a lot of people are just waiting for some sort of life-changing moment, but your life really changes exponentially, I feel like. Obviously, everyone's different. I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like it's really up to the small choices that you make on a daily basis. For example, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really feel like filming this video today. I was actually watching a game. I was watching the World Cup with my family, and I was like, damn, I gotta film this video. But now I'm starting to shift my perspective of like, no, I don't have to film this video. I don't have to do anything. I get to film this video. I get to speak my truth. I get to share online. That is a privilege. And so I chose to stop watching the game. You know, I was still keeping up with it, but I came over here, I got my whole setup going, and I'm talking because I made a promise to myself that I was going to do this today. And if I were to not keep that promise, then guess what? Tomorrow's the 4th of July. So I have plans all day. I'm not gonna be able to do it then. Sunday, I'm going to see my family, and then I have stuff to do after. I'm not gonna have time for it. Monday, I have a studio session. Like, there's no other time. Time's now. And I'm very glad that I decided to sit down and do it now, because otherwise, future Pia would have been pissed off. Nobody is going to tell you to do the things that you know you need to do. No one's gonna tell you, hey, you should probably get up earlier than you did get today. Yeah, you kind of slept in a lot. You kind of been sleeping in lately. Maybe you should wake up early. No one's gonna tell you that. No one's gonna tell you, hey, you should probably go to the gym today. Hey, you probably shouldn't get Chick-fil-A like 3 times in a week. You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna tell you, hey, you should film that video and post it about that thing that you wanted to talk about. Hey, you should really do that thing that you said you were gonna do. No one's gonna tell you that. No one is going to tell you that. No one's going to save you. You have to make these choices all on your own. But there's also a beauty in that, because it's like your fate is in your hands. You have complete control over whether or not your dreams come to fruition. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Your fate, your future, your dreams are oftentimes not dependent on like one massive decision, but rather tiny little choices that you make on a daily basis. That's over time, they start to add up, they start to accumulate, and you may not see a difference now. Again, it's like the plane. It's like you make one tiny choice and it seems negligible. You don't even notice the difference. But I promise you, over time, those changes are going to compound and you will notice a difference. Which brings me to chapter 2. Your daily habits, your daily choices are choosing your future. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. It is a very powerful, powerful thing. Another point that I wanted to talk about is your habits and your choices. They really say a lot about you. They're very revealing about the type of person that you are. They reveal a lot about where your priorities lie as a woman. If you're spending all your time hung up on a man that doesn't give a fuck about you, first of all, ew, that stinks. Like, if you're making choices on a daily basis that you know aren't good for you, maybe you smoke a lot, maybe you vape, and you know that that's not good for you, but you choose to go to the smoke shop anyways. You're like, hey, let me get that little one. Girl, your lungs are crying. What a lot of people don't talk about is that your daily choices, they don't just affect you. They, over time, start to also affect the people around you. When they start to affect the people around you, oftentimes they start seeing like this new, like different, improved, updated version of you, and it makes them uncomfortable, and they're like, oh, like this isn't the small, comfortable, cozy you that I'm used to knowing. Who is this? It makes them uncomfortable. It's like, And so it's up to you if you're gonna keep those people in your life, because these people are either going to support your growth or they're just not going to understand it. They're just not going to be there for you. And it's up to you whether you're going to keep those people in your life, keep those people in your circle, keep that type of energy around you. Like, do you really want to be around people who don't understand your vision, who don't want the best for you? No. I've had so many instances where I've had to just distance myself from people, not because we had like a big falling out or because there was like a major conflict or anything like that. It was just because like we're not aligned. You want different things, I want different things, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean there has to be like beef. I don't know, let's be honest, I feel like as girls there's kind of like this notion that like if you like stop talking to somebody, that there's like, oh well, something must have happened, there must have been some type of drama, or like But like, no, bitch, I just like, I'm doing my own shit and you're doing your own thing, and like there's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't mean that I'm throwing shade at you because we're not hanging out as much. No. Like, I feel like women, I'm not gonna lie, tend to take things very personally in that regard when it really is not personal at all. So that brings me to chapter 3. Becoming the woman of your dreams is going to disappoint a lot of people. Who said that? It's going to disappoint a lot of people. But these people are probably not meant to be in your life anyways. At least not for any longer than they already were. The uncomfortable truth of chapter 3 is that you cannot simultaneously become the woman of your dreams and please everybody and make everyone happy and keep everyone comfortable. You're good, right? No way. There's no way. Let's say, for example, you had planned this one night and you were going to start writing this book that you wanted to write, that you've been telling yourself, oh, I really want to publish a book. I've been wanting this for years and I really need to just get on it. And you were like, all right, I'm going to dedicate Friday to writing my book, to writing whatever chapter of my book. And then Friday comes, right? And then you get a text from your shorty and she's like, hey, like, let's go out. Like, me and the girls are going out. Like, you should join us. If you say yes to that, you are saying no to yourself. You are saying no to the version of yourself that has all of these dreams, that wants to release the book, that wants to achieve her goals. And it's not even just with other people. If you choose to doom scroll all day and bed rot, if you choose to sleep in instead of doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, that is a way of saying no to your goals, to your growth, to your priorities, to your future. Is that what you want? Just to have a little night out that you could have any other night? Now, I understand if it's like, you know, everyone's got their reasons, but whatever, but I'm saying if this is a consistent thing where you're constantly like not doing the things that you said you want to do for yourself, just because so-and-so invited you to go out and do what? Like, no, I'm not shitting on going out, but that is literally saying no to yourself. And it's a very sad thing, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. And I'll admit it, I've done it before too, where I'll be like, oh, I wanted to write this song tonight, or I wanted to produce this beat, or I wanted to mix this track or whatever. Oh, but so-and-so invited me out. Maybe I can record the vocals tomorrow. Like, no, girl, no. You said you were gonna do it tonight. Do it tonight. And I promise you the next day, you're gonna feel so much better about it. I'm not saying you should never go out with your friends. I'm not saying you should never, you know, agree to like meet up with people and you know, hang out, but like, you need to make sure that you are putting yourself before anybody else. I hate to say it, a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but selfish people win. If you have to be selfish, if that makes you a bitch, be a fucking bitch, okay? I have been such a people pleaser my entire life. I will literally make a whole other video on that because it's honestly something I could talk about for a fat minute. But as someone who grew up people pleasing constantly, it became difficult for me to like set those boundaries with people. And that's something that I am still learning, to set boundaries with people. Oftentimes these people tend to prefer a version of you that's smaller and comfortable and doesn't challenge them, and a version of you that they can benefit from. Oh my God, do you know how many friends that I've had where we would hang out and 3 hours would pass and this bitch just been yapping in my ear for the entire 3 hours and hasn't asked me a single question about myself? And I'm like, oh, I don't recall clocking in as your therapist. Oh, but okay, like the amount of times that has happened to me where I ended up as the therapist friend, but then I started to realize, okay, but I'm like allowing that, so I need to set the boundary. Because sometimes people don't realize. And of course, as a friend, you should be there for someone. You should be there if they need to vent or whatever. And of course, I'm always down to do that. But I started to notice a pattern where I was constantly like the therapist friend. I'm like, yo, what? I'm not a fucking therapist, okay? Girl, bye. You're a grown-ass woman. You can figure your shit out on your own. When I say people prefer the version of you that they can benefit from, I don't mean like necessarily in a malicious way, just more in a way where people can feel way too comfortable having access to your time, to your energy, to your presence. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, boundaries can feel like you're being selfish, especially when you're not used to having them. As someone who literally just in the past few years has started being more firm and like establishing boundaries with people, it felt like almost like mean. I was so scared of like, oh my God, I don't want to be mean. Girl, I'll be a fucking bitch if I need to. Having these boundaries can feel selfish and mean because I feel like as women, we're just taught like, you have to play nice and you have to, oh, it's okay. No, it's fine. No, it's okay. I'll take care of it. Like, no, I already had a plan to do this thing tonight that I promised myself I was gonna do, and I'm not just gonna throw it out the window because you wanna hang out with me. Like, girl, bye. And also, we're taught that being nice means being available for people, right? Always just throwing everything out that we were gonna do, and yes, I'm here for you. How can I help you? Like, I will talk about this a lot more in my people-pleasing video, because girl, I could go on and on. But also, people need to understand that boundaries are not a punishment. Boundaries are boundaries, and that's it. And a lot of times your growth as a woman can be misunderstood by other women, by other people in general. They almost see it as like, oh, she's changing. Oh, I don't know, she became really selfish out of nowhere. Like, or like, oh, she's really distant all of a sudden. Like, yeah, I have fucking goals I want to achieve. I'm not gonna be hanging out with you doing fuck all like all day. Like, what? The interesting thing about setting boundaries is that it creates distance from expectations from other people. It creates distance from any distractions that are keeping you, from doing your thing. And it creates distance between you and the constant noise of people expecting shit from you. And like, that can be a little bit uncomfortable to sit in that distance, to sit in that solitude, but there's also a beauty in sitting in your own thoughts and figuring out who you are as a woman. Which brings me to chapter 4, embracing your solitude. This is so important, you guys. I'm someone that's very independent. I really do love being alone, spending time by myself. I talk to myself all the time. Like the other day, I was like my brother was over and I was like talking to myself and he was like, is someone there? Like, who are you talking to? And I was like myself. Do you not talk to yourself? Like, is that, oh, it's just me. Okay. I talk to myself all the time. I keep myself entertained. I make myself laugh. Like, I have a great relationship with myself. And obviously it's not perfect. There's still things that I want to improve, but there is such a beauty. There is such a magic in really sitting with yourself and thinking and not being influenced by other people. Cut out all the noise. It's like, maybe you want to make a choice, maybe you want to make a certain decision, and the person that you're around, they're like, oh no, like that's not a good idea, or like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Bitch, I don't remember fucking asking you. But if you're alone, you wouldn't have that issue because you would just do it on your own. Fuck what she gotta say. A lot of people are like literally terrified of being alone, not just physically, but like with their thoughts. Like, it's one thing to be alone and then be like scrolling all day, but to be alone and put that shit down and like look in the mirror and say, all right, here's where we're at. Let's calibrate. Let's recalibrate. No scrolling, no distractions, no music, nothing. Just me and my thoughts. A lot of people are terrified of sitting with their thoughts, and that's why they're constantly filling their brains with fucking scrolling every 2 seconds. Can't even take a shit without scrolling. Low-key me, but I'm working on it. It's damn near impossible to get to know yourself as a person if you're constantly being influenced by other people's decisions. And I'm not even just talking about other people in real life, I'm talking about online too. Like, people can't even formulate an opinion on a video without looking at the comments first. Be like, oh, what's everyone else saying? Okay, yeah, I know, I agree with that. Like, no. Make your own opinion. That's why every single time I consume a piece of content, I'm like, how do I feel about this before I open the comments? And then sometimes I'll be surprised, or sometimes people will agree with me. But the whole point is I'm making my decision about how I feel about something before I hear the bandwagon decision. But the truth is, you're just never going to be able to hear your own voice, your own thoughts, if you're constantly being influenced by your friends or your family or social media or whoever the fuck. Like, cut it out. Like, just sit with yourself. The other day, I meditated for the first time in like years, and I played some like binaural beats. I just like sat, I was like crisscross applesauce, And within like 2 minutes, I kid you not, I started bawling my eyes out. And I hadn't cried in a long time. But this was the first time that I really sat with myself, no distractions, phone on D&D. I was fully immersed in my own thoughts, focused on my breath, and I just started crying and crying and crying. But it wasn't like a sad cry, it was just more of a cathartic release of all of the shit that I didn't even realize that I'd been keeping inside because I was constantly distracted. Being alone, embracing your solitude, it creates a sense of trust between you and you. You get to know yourself, you get to figure out, what do you like? What do you value? Fuck what she gotta say, fuck what he gotta say. What do you think? Stop letting these other people affect your opinions. Stop letting social media tell you how to think. Are you a sheep? Are you like, don't fall victim to the hive mind that everyone is falling victim to. If you really think about it, it's not that difficult to get ahead of everyone else because everyone's doing the same shit. Everyone's doom scrolling. Everyone's talking about all the things they're gonna do and they're not doing shit. I believe that a lot of the answers that you might be searching for aren't online. They're right here. You just need to cut all of that out and sit with yourself. And I highly recommend just like, you don't even have to put on any music, but like I literally put on some binaural beats and I just sat with myself and I was like, wow. It was just really refreshing. And I really want to start implementing that more on like a daily basis. Me personally, I have realized that I'm very much the type of person who literally cannot focus on my goals unless I am completely by myself, completely. So, and when I say completely by myself, I just mean like really like in my room. I need alone time. I require alone time. I demand alone time, truly. It is so, so important to me. And for a long time, I almost felt like guilty about that. When people would be trying to like hit me up and like, you know, let's hang out. And I'd be like, I would always feel like I need to have an excuse. Like as if being alone or wanting to spend a night in isn't valid. Why is that not valid? That's completely fucking valid. If I want to stay in and sit with my thoughts and work on my craft and create something, or just stay in and have a comfortable night in with myself, why should I feel guilty about that? For the longest time, I tricked myself into being like, oh, fuck, I need to have an excuse. All right, what am I gonna say? And I would literally like just make shit up and be like, oh, I can't because I have to do this. As if, no, I'm good. I don't need to do that. I just wanna stay home tonight. As if that's not a valid excuse. It's not even an excuse, it's just a reason. I'm not going out tonight because I wanna stay home. I think that's more than enough. I think that's a full sentence. Or even just like, you don't even have to say that. Just say no, I'm good. And you don't have to explain yourself. No is a full sentence. And that's something that I'm still learning because, again, as a people pleaser, there's a lot of habits that I have to unlearn about like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always scared to like offend somebody. And like I'm constantly walking on eggshells. But I have to realize that like, you know what? You're a grown fucking person. You can take no as an answer. But yeah, back to the guilt thing. It almost felt like prioritizing myself and my solitude was like there was something wrong with that. But to be completely honest, I feel like a lot of my most creative ideas or kind of like epiphanies that I've had, my clearest decisions and biggest moments of personal growth that I've made were when I was completely by myself. Maybe it's going on a walk, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's meditating, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it's just going on a drive, but just sitting alone with your thoughts, with your own thoughts, your thoughts, not their thoughts, your thoughts. There's such a beauty in that. To conclude this video, the woman of your dreams is not this made up, fake caricature version of you. She is you. She is inside of you. She is within you. She's not smarter than you. She's not more talented. She's not more worthy than you. She's not more valid than you. She is you. Just on a different timeline, on a different trajectory. Maybe she made different choices. But she is you. You are that woman. Every decision that you make, every choice that you make, every habit that you choose is a vote for some version of you. One version might be like the current version where it's like, nothing's really changed. Another version might be even worse off because you made the wrong choices. Or another version might be that girl. Just because you stayed on that trajectory and you kept your promises. and you listened to yourself and you trusted yourself and you trusted your intuition. That is the biggest thing. Like sometimes my mind will try to have arguments with my soul about like certain like really big things, and my mind will be like trying to rationalize like, no, it's not that big of a deal. But then my soul is like, but yes it is. And I feel it in my body. Like sometimes our body tells us something that our mind doesn't, and I think it's really important to listen to both. So if there's anything I want you to take from this video, spend some time alone. Take yourself out on a date. Get cute, get dressed up, you know, get your little outfit on, get your little makeup on. Have a little coffee date with yourself. Maybe you can bring a journal and just write. Go on a walk, go to the park, go grab a lunch by yourself, go grab a drink by yourself. But just give yourself enough space to sit with your own thoughts, not to be clouded, not to be influenced by anybody else, completely untouched by anybody else, and allow yourself to embrace that solitude and allow yourself to be you fully without someone telling you, that's not really, I don't agree with that, or like, oh, I prefer this one, or like, it's almost like fatigue. It's like other people fatigue. No offense. I mean, I love everyone in my life that's in my life. They're in my life for a reason, but I'm just saying sometimes it is really fatiguing to be constantly influenced by other people. It's like sometimes I'll be so excited to do something and someone be like, I don't really, it's not that great or whatever. It's like, so what is one thing that you're going to be doing by yourself this week? Are you going on a walk? Are you taking yourself out? Like, date night with yourself? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you're going to be doing by yourself this week. For me personally, well, tomorrow's the 4th of July, so I won't be spending it by myself, but Sunday evening, I will be spending by myself. Sundays are very important to me. I have my Sunday reset. I clean everything and I journal, and I'm really trying to do daily journaling and daily meditation. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, whatever it is you decide to do on your own, I would love to hear it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and a comment, and I'll be dropping videos like this every week. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more. But yeah, my name is Pia. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me. It really does mean a lot to me. I feel like time is the most valuable asset. So for you to be able to share that with me, that means the absolute world. If you made it to the end of this video, hi girl. I'm clocking out now, but I will see you very shortly.